let's investigate some designs which are quite interesting. Let's see this lotus building. Well, it not really fit my taste, but the structure is kind of interesting and it definitely worth to look, right? Let's see some methods. How can we approach this by investigating and researching some geometrical topology editing. Let's jump into Cinema 4D. And I already made my research in Cinema. And I would like to show you how did I make it. Let's create a new one. And let's open the design. Like so. Let's create a good print screen of it. It's of course in China now. It's all the huge money went to China. Shift F6 to reach the picture viewer, and I press the Control V to insert the image, and I hide this sidebar. Okay, so basically we can derive it from a sphere. I'm not really do this exactly, but kind of a similar kind of geometry. So let's start with a sphere. Let's make the topology visible like so. And let's go with the bevel tool, good old bevel tool. Press the shift and I go to point mode. I bump up the offset, let's say 80, and of course the limit has to be turned on. And now the points are not merged. There are four points in each corners here. So I have to put it into a connect object. Connect object will merge those points together. Press the Alt, and now it should be fine. I press phone break to manual, and I select the phone tag and I set the phone angle to 0. Okay, now I need much less segments. Let's say set it to 10 maybe. Good. And now what I need to do is I turn off the work plane. And what I need to do now is to put it into a group like that. Put a polyaffix into the stack, and I will create a gap between the polygons with scale tool. Let's say 0.98. And let's try to rotate them like that. Okay, let's rotate them. As I want, and now I can start to play maybe with the size as well. Okay, And now I have these very interesting stuff here, of course, with some anomaly, but we will get rid of them by clicking the null object and current state to object. If you don't find current state to object, or you don't have it, you just simply press Shift C and type current state to object, and this is it. You may even put it somewhere here if you use it frequently. Okay, let's make this, hide the parametric version, and select only, let's use the selection subtletives, which is plugin. You can find it on Discord in the applications channel. And I press the button, select triangles only, because we don't need them. And then I select these elements and delete them as well. Good. Now, what I want to do or would like to do is to select all the edges and store the selection. You can find it here, select and store selection, by the way. And after this, I would like to triangulate this whole thing. Or I make an inset or a poke polygon. Okay, poke polygon, and you can offset them. Let's say 30. It's definitely too much. Let's see, poke polygons 20. Let's say 10. Let's go with 10. Poke polygons. Click here. And let's go with 10. And I kind of like it. Good. Now we need to select these elements. I press UI here, and now we need to deselect the horizontal edges carefully. Select them carefully, because you don't want to select anything else. With Control, I can and now I need to deselect these elements here. It's maybe much easier to just double click. Okay, so after this I store the selection, but I press the Shift button when I click this, no, Control Z, and I just click the selection, so it will create a new selection for me. And now what I do is I put the whole thing into a subdivision surface by the object selected, and I press Alt key and click on subdivision surface. Good. And now what I want to do is press point button, click with the mouse. You see the point is hold down. I'm holding down. I press the mouse button and slide it from the left to right. That's it. Let's bump up the subdivision editor to make the whole thing look much better. Like that. And if you may want to normal scale these polygons, you can make them much closer to each other, because the gaps were a bit too much. And now I think I would delete these, or just these are kind of weird here. You check the intersections and get rid of them, because we don't want these intersections anywhere. And now the final step is maybe just to give this MZ for normal offset. Watch out for the intersections, okay? We don't want any intersections. And now I will give the whole thing thickness, and I do that with the cloth surface. Press the Alt or Option button while the subdivision surface selected, and I lift the mouse button. I press subdivision factor 0 because I don't need them, and I set thickness any value I want. But again, beware for the intersections because we don't need those. Okay, so this way we created this cool structure, and now let's make it a little bit more interesting by distort it with an FFD deformer. Maybe put it into connect object, because that's always the way how we do it, and put it into an FFD deformer with the shift key now, because the shift key will be a children. If you press the Alt, it will be a parent, but if you select the object and lift off the mouse while the FFD deformer or any deformer is selected, it will be a good children under the connect object. So that's how you do it. Press the rectangle selection tool on the point mode, and you can fine tune it as the way you want. You can even rotate it. You can play with this thing. I strongly advise you to do that, because you can find absolutely amazing things. Maybe with just doing this, select these edges, and let's distort this way, and on the blue axis. So I created this interesting distortion. Okay, you can try always move these rounds, or even rotate. You can try even rotate it, but now it doesn't look that good. It's not look organic. Okay, you can even try to rotate these, but maybe this is not the way how we go with this form. Okay, if you don't like it, you can always start again from the very start. So basically, this is how we do this phyllotaxis, like Fibonacci sequence based forms. Beware of the intersections, give thickness, make the edges sharp as you wish, use the subdivision surface, and utilize these techniques as you wish. So basically, that's it.